joining us this morning, all the way from Starkville, Mississippi, Kiarra Sales, Key, as they like to call her over there. Key, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing really great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. It's a pleasure to talk to you. We've been covering you the senior year, going through Mississippi State and kind of everything you're doing. Batting 402, which I believe is still leading the team. 12 homers, 28 RBI, and 36 runs scored. So, Key, I just want to ask you first off about this senior season that you're having. What's working for you, and how has this year gone for you?
I think just kind of trusting in the process of everything, especially like throughout my time here at state, I think has definitely helped me a lot. And honestly, just kind of going out there and having fun and enjoying the game. It's my last year, so why not make it the best year that I could possibly make it?
Well, and you played, obviously, you were a standout at Jasper, so you played a lot at Jasper. And then when you got to state, you were kind of coming off the bench your freshman and sophomore year, and then really got to start your junior year. So going back to last season and now through this season, how much have you learned and how much have you grown at state?
I've grown a lot. I think just kind of, like I said, trusting the process of everything and kind of just having that like chip on my shoulder and kind of like really growing in that confidence to make improvements throughout the since my time here, and I think that's really helped me a lot. But yeah, definitely got to say, growing that confidence, growing and knowing that I am good enough, and that kind of trusting in that has definitely like helped me and grow has definitely shown me to be the person that I am today, and I'm completely grateful.
Well, and being a star in Jasper and then having to come off the bench at when you get to college, how difficult of a transition was that for you? How did you have to kind of refocus and be like, okay, I can still do this. It's just a different role. How difficult was that for you?
Whoa, okay. That was definitely really difficult. It was very difficult. I think kind of like knowing from coming from the area, kind of like, oh, you're one of the best in your area, and then kind of transitioning to college. Um, it was definitely eye opening. Knowing that everybody is just as good as you are. It's literally like the little things that really like matter that separate you from the others. And I think that's definitely something that I had to learn and to grow as my time at state. And I think that is oh, it was a lot. The transition was real. It was a difficult and it was a really big struggle, but we made it out. We worked through it, and kind of knowing that I can go through things that are really tough and come out on the better end of it was really kind of amazing, though, too.
Yeah, and like you said, you got through it. That part's done now. You don't have to worry about that again,
Yeah.
and you made it through, and you're better for it now. Now I want to ask you what made you choose Mississippi State coming out of Jasper and going all the way to Mississippi. What made you choose Mississippi State?
And the environment here is insane. Like everybody here is bulldog. Like coming from Jasper, being a bulldog, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a spot. But kind of the family environment out here. The locals are really friendly. You go out, they'll go out of their way for you, and I think that was something that was super amazing. It just kind of reminded me of home and like all the support systems that I had, and to come here, it was really cool. And also, it's a small town. I love the small town vibe, and it was definitely something that was like catchy. And competitiveness out here, especially being in the SEC, the best of the best. I think that's also what drew me in. And yeah, like the coaching staff's amazing. Like the entire like city is amazing. So that's definitely the reason why I came here.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned that. I didn't. I've put two and two together before, but yeah, you didn't have to change your wardrobe or anything. You still got maroon, just like you were in Jasper. You still got the Bulldogs. Like you didn't have to change. Your family didn't have to change anything. That's awesome. And speaking of family, your younger sister Kalani is on the team here at Mississippi State. She's a sophomore. So one two-part question here. How cool is it to have your sister in college with you and playing collegiate softball together? And then, did you persuade her to come to state, or was she already going to go to state?
Man, it's absolutely amazing to have my sister here. Kind of have bringing a little home with me. I think it's super amazing, super cool. We do live together, so that's also really nice for my parents when they come down here. But actually, I didn't persuade her. She came with me on my visit here, and she absolutely loved it. She was like, before you even said like yes or like, oh, I'm gonna commit here, she was like, I'm already in. She was like, I'm bought into it. She was like, I'm gonna come here. And I was like, okay, you're committed before I am, but okay. So yeah, that was kind of like I didn't persuade her at all. She loved the vibe of it. She loved the people, the coaches, just the staff in general, and she loved the area. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come here too. I'm gonna follow you." And I was like, "All right, okay, well, we're gonna come together."
That's awesome, and that is cool. Like, and that you are living together too is just makes it awesome. And I'm sure that when your parents do come down and visit, it's a lot easier. You are both there in the same space and can do all that. That's awesome. And I want to ask you before we talk about Jasper and all that, I want to get your thoughts kind of on the rest of the season for Mississippi State right now. You coming off winning 2 out of 3 at home against South Carolina, and then you're 32-7 overall, 4-5 in a very tough SEC that you were talking about. Traveling to Gainesville, Florida this weekend for a series with the Gators. What's it going to take through the rest of this regular season for Mississippi State to get some momentum as they head into the postseason?
I think kind of building off of this past weekend is definitely something that will help us. We've been putting in a lot of work these last couple of weeks, trying to continue to how would I say really like take in like the small things, like really like appreciate those things. The little wins lead up to the big wins, right? So I think just kind of like trusting in that entire process, building off of this weekend and going into this next weekend will definitely help us. I think we got hitting starting to come through. We're starting to get it going, and then pitching. Pitching's been our really big thing this year, and it's been really great. And for us to like go out there and just try to back up our pitchers as they've been doing for us, I think will definitely lead to us going out there and taking the series.
Well, and you mentioned SEC play being the best of the best, and I would agree with you there. I think SEC softball is, I mean, the national champions are in the SEC. The reigning national champs are in the SEC. So when week in and week out, when you play these series, whether it's South Carolina, whether it's Georgia or Florida, how how locked in do you have to be week in and week out, knowing that every series that you have every week is a very good opponent that you're either going to or coming to your home to play?
Oh, it's really tough. I think just kind of knowing that like we chose to be here and that we are like proving that we belong here and kind of really like stepping on that, like building off of that. I think just knowing that like we wanted this, and so we worked our butts off in the fall to get to where we are today, and that's definitely building us and building our character, building our like chemistry with the team, and I think that is definitely something that's kind of helped us along the way throughout this entire week. We already knew it was going to be a dogfight every single weekend. We wanted to go to war for each other, and I think that's just kind of something that we've definitely preached a whole lot, especially for these weeks that are coming up and kind of preparing for it.
Yeah, you're in the grind right now, the tough stretch to the end of the season. But y'all are having a good year. I want to ask you about Jasper now. Now, growing up in the Jasper area and then going to school in Jasper, being a Lady Bulldog and all that. Tell me about growing up in Jasper, being in Jasper, and how it made you who you are today.
Man, in Jasper, you got a lot of support. People are really supportive out there, which I'm super thankful for. Just kind of like knowing that for me, it was like coming from a small town. I was like, all right, okay, like you don't really see a lot of things out here, like, oh, this girl is going here or here. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is my dream. Like my dad really like instilled that in me. Like, you have a dream, we're gonna work our butts off, we're gonna chase that dream, right? And so my family really supported me throughout this entire thing. The people, the community, they supported me and a lot of other different girls, and I think I'm so blessed to even to even be here today without them. I mean, like it's crazy the support that's out there, and I think that's definitely like helped me along the way. And then kind of like growing up, it wasn't there's like I said, like not a whole lot out there, and so kind of really grinding, like really trusting the grind of everything. Recruiting wasn't exactly how I thought it would have gone, but like kind of trusting the process of it all, giving it all to God, and really like continuing to go from there. And I think that's definitely something that Jasper's really like instilled in me, that dog mentality, that like go get it, go after it, like kind of. And I think that's something that I definitely like came from for real.
Well, and you mentioned it too that not there hasn't been a ton of softball players coming out of Jasper and playing at the Division 1 level. So now, do you feel a sense of and obviously there's a sense of pride, but do you feel a sense of responsibility? I guess kind of like a role model to the younger girls in Jasper that hey, you can go achieve your dreams and play Division 1 softball. Do you feel a type of responsibility for that?
Yes, I do. Kind of paving the way. That was always kind of a really big thing. Is like, we're gonna make it out. You're gonna pave the way for these girls, and I think it. I take a really big responsibility into that. Like, because I feel if I'm not doing my job, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And then so kind of to go off of that, that was really something that my parents really instilled in me. Like, you're gonna do this, paving the way for my little sister, and I take a lot of pride in that. Trying to bring up the younger girls, the little ones that are out there, and I think it's really super cool to see like them grow as well, and to just be a part of something big like that.
Well, and that is awesome, and it's a big responsibility, and you're crushing it up there at Mississippi State. Now, one last thing I want to ask you before I let you get out of here. I've heard. I watched the podcast earlier. I was doing a little research before we did the interview, and I was watching you on a podcast earlier with Kiarra Sacco, and doing that interview there. I believe that you said you have hearing aids that you use when you're in the field, and so could you explain that how that works for you playing softball? Because I know you mentioned how you turn them off when you're batting and turn it on when you go back in the field and all that. So can you just explain how you play with hearing aids?
Wow. Hearing aids definitely a game changer for me, especially when I'm all the way in right field and my coach is like all the way on the other third base side of the dugout. So to be able to like hear or see anything, I mean, like SEC weekends, tournament weekends are super crowded, super loud out there, and I think that's definitely helped me to be able to kind of like focus and focus on what's going around. The things that are going on around me, and to also get my coaches like listen to him as well. I think the first time this is a funny story. So I didn't when I first came in. I didn't like tell them like, oh, I'm deaf or anything. So I was like, okay, like I'm just going. And then one day they're yelling at me at practice, and so they're yelling at me at practice. And my coach was like, why can't I like hear? She was like, is she deaf? Can she not hear me? They were like, the girls were like, yeah, she's deaf. And they were like, oh no. So we started working with all of the hearing aids and stuff. And they're like, you better make sure you wear this all the time. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear it. But yeah, it's definitely a game changer for me, especially in the box, to be able to kind of like shut everything out and when I'm at the plate. And I think that's definitely helped me. And then, on the field, being able to hear. So definitely, it's really changed a lot for me. It helps me stay locked in and stuff. So I think it's a really big game changer.
Well, well, yeah, and me and Kylie were just talking about that here, especially in the SEC with all the chirping that happens behind home plate. It probably is a nice thing to just be like, you know what? I don't even have to listen to all that. I don't even have to hear it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, we let Sierra know that you were going to be on here, and she says hello. So Sierra says hello to you. Wanted to pass that
Hi,
along to you.
Sacho.
And Kylie used to play with Sierra, so that's how we have the whole connection there with Sierra Sacco. But Key, it was awesome to talk to you this morning. You have been a pleasure to watch this season, and we look forward to watching you throughout the rest of the year. Best of luck to you and the Mississippi State Bulldogs throughout the rest of the season. We'll talk to you down the road.
Yeah, bye. Thank you so much for having me.